Hey guys. Sorry, just reading some comments. Oh, thanks, Krista. I do not care for. Oh, you don't care for me, Jen? Why? Well, why are you here? Are you following me again? I'm confused by your comment. I do not care for zavgirl, and I quit following her a while back. Okay. Well, you don't have to be here. I just wanted. This is actually really going to be a quick one because hi, Sandy. I know I can't tell if that was a mistype or something because the emojis just don't go along with it. So I'm a little bit confused about that. Hopefully it's just a mistype. Hey Sandy, hey cool gamer. So you guys, I got the autopsy uploading now. I finally so the other day, that night, that live when it first came out and I did that live, I stayed up all night and recorded it because I wanted to have it out the next day, right? So I stay up all night, I record it. And then the next day I ate some lunch because it's about lunchtime, and then it's like I gotta edit it because you gotta edit it, because it's not just perfect when you record it. So it's like, okay, I'll edit. And then Zeke jumped up on my bed. I'm like, I'll take a quick nap and then I'll edit it. Oh my lord, I fell asleep all the way through the night. So I've been editing all day. I'm like staying up all night. That was a waste because it was to get it out like yesterday early, but now 2 days later. But I finally finished it. So and I added little things as I went through, like, different meanings and stuff. Not a complete thing, not, like, as much as I want to, but I've been finding some, like, journals, publications, articles, and, when we do an open panel, maybe tomorrow, I really wanna go through some of this stuff. There's a lot that I know I'm talking about 2 different cases here. I'm talking about the Kylie one real quick. There's a lot I'm learning. I know when I did that autopsy originally, I was like, "Yeah, no, it looks fine." I mean, it looks you guys realize I was reading it first with you guys. Like, I hadn't got a chance to actually do my research and let it absorb. And what I'm finding out, I'm so confused. There's weird things that just which we'll go over that, but I want to do a little bit more research on it. I'm trying to get through like different medical journals and articles and stuff because I'm trying to learn and hey, I'm learning anyway about an anatomy and about like so it's good knowledge anyway, but it's making me feel really uneasy about the results. But anyway, hey Linda, so this is gonna be kind of quick. Did you guys watch the new interview? Because right before this case, I was following their Dylan Rounds case really closely. I mean, I was really into that, and I still am, but they haven't found them yet. So uh oh my god, I'm drawing a blank now. Yeah, Candace and I can't think of the dad's name. Lordy, what's the dad's name? Well, we're gonna watch it together though. Hey, True Crime Tea, what's up? Because she says some interesting things. Like, finally, the freaking truth comes out. Hey, Captain. I'm not sure if you know about this case. Where this is gonna be the Dylan Rounds case, but it's nice to see you. I want to get a hold of you though because I just wanted to ask you a few things, and I would like to come up on your show sometime. I never had a chance. The other night, I guess when you were asking about me, this was like last week. Yeah, I'll tell you why I didn't come up that night. But we'll talk behind the scenes. There was a reason why I couldn't. I just couldn't. But hey Mama Bear. Hey Lisa, Justin. Yay. I'm sorry. I'm just doing audio because I just want to play the couple videos and then hey Dr. Tanya. Jory in the house. Justin, thank you. I couldn't think of his name. It's been a while since I looking into it. I try to keep up when there's like a new something like new coming out. I try to keep up with it and update it. So this was like the last new thing. I did their last new interview too, like from like what was that a few weeks ago. But they still haven't found him. He's like totally disappeared from the Utah border. So it's really a crazy story. Like I think James Brenner now, especially after hearing this interview, I think it was this squatter that was on the land who was living in like the trailer that was right by his where Dylan lived. So I think he did it. Now wait till you guys hear the interview if you guys haven't heard it yet. Oh, you did? Shoot. I was gonna do it last night actually before. So what I was gonna do yesterday is finish editing, do the live, and then finish editing the other thing, like, just do both of them, and like I said, I fell asleep. But the other one is uploading right now. Let me see if it's ready, actually. Oh, it's still checking. It's doing all its final checks. So just look out for that, the read through. Hey, Donna. All right, let's just watch it real quick for those of you that haven't, and then we'll chat. Hey, a little bit. Yeah, watch this, guys. It definitely looks like it's Brenner. Okay, let me get it real quick. We got East Idaho News. Nate from East Idaho News. He's the best. All right, here we go.
I'm Nate Eaton talking with Candace Cooley and Justin Rounds today. These are Dylan Rounds' parents. It's been several months since he disappeared right before Memorial Day. And his parents are here today because they want to talk about some new developments on their end, also raise awareness that he is still missing.
Yes.
6, 7 months later now?
5.
5 months, okay.
5.
Thanks for coming in, you guys. Candace, let's just start right from the beginning. Right before Memorial Day, that weekend, Dylan calls his grandmother, says he has to get the grain truck inside the shed because it was going to start to rain, to pick it up from there.
So then he was going to call her back and nobody heard from him. So that's when by Monday we had all touched on base on May 30th that morning and nobody had heard from Dylan, and that's when we all headed to the farm. So that was the last contact that day. So when we got out there, we called Box Elder, made a missing persons report. Search and rescue came out, a couple officers, and that's when maybe an hour and a half into the search, that's when his boots were found behind the dirt pile.
And on the boots was blood. Random place to find boots.
Correct. We now know how the boots got there.
Can you tell us?
Brenner has admitted he's the one who took the boots out there.
So James Brenner was a man squatting on nearby property, correct?
On the same property the grain shed's on.
On the same property of the grain shed. James and Dylan knew each other.
Correct.
Friends?
He'd work for him off and on.
Acquaintances,
yeah,
and kind of became somewhat friends.
Okay. So James has since told you guys?
Told law enforcement.
Told law enforcement that he put Dylan's boots there.
Correct.
How did he get Dylan's boots?
So he said he found them by the shed, picked them up, moved them by his camper somewhere, and then decided that Dylan wasn't coming back for them. Those boots, and Dylan hadn't been there in almost a month. He was over working in Independence Valley and on the Wine Cup. Dylan had not been to Lucin. And Brenner had said he hadn't seen Dylan in months. A month, somewhere in that timeline. Those boots were not in that desert during that rainstorm on Friday. Those boots didn't even have dust on them. I bet you when Brenner put them there... Or mud. It was Monday when he knew we were coming out and he had to get rid of them.
Okay, so back up a little bit. He said he found the boots by his shed.
By the shed.
By the shed that was there, and that he hadn't seen Dylan in a month, so he needed to just get rid of them. Or move
Pick them up and move them twice, and then...
So that he moved them from the shed area to behind the dirt pile.
He moved them twice, from the shed area to by his camper, I guess, and then...
So Dylan had said, Dylan had called my mom at roughly around the gate.
Yes.
Is where the phone pinged. Right after that, he called Brenner. And Brenner had said he'd been at his place all day Friday and all day Saturday until 2:30. And he went to a barbecue.
And never seen Dylan.
And never saw anyone. And Dylan's phone was shown pinging at the grain shed, and then went back to Dylan's on Saturday.
Camper.
And then came back to Jim's, and then left and went all the way to the Lucin Pond, and that's where we found Dylan's phone.
Was in
Lucin Pond.
Okay, so the first kind of big development that you're sharing is that the boots, Brenner has told law enforcement that he put the boots out by the dirt pile.
Yeah.
The second thing that you just said, Justin, is that Dylan's phone was found in the pond.
Yes. Lucin Pond.
And it was pinging in Dylan's area, like Justin just explained, all day. That phone never left that area.
Right after the phone call to my mother, he called Jim Brenner, probably I would assume, to open the gate. And then he went up to Jim Brenner's, the phone did, and was around there for a while, and then went back to Dylan's place, and then back to Jim Brenner's, and stayed there the rest of the day on Saturday until around 2:30 or so.
Okay, so I just want to point out. So, okay, so the phone goes up to, because he has to open the gate, Jim, right? Goes to the shed, back to, wait, how did he say that again? Did it go to Jim's and then back? Hold on, let me just see something really quick.
Jim Brenner, probably I would assume, to open the gate. And then he went up to Jim Brenner's, the phone did, and was around there for a while, and then went back to Dylan's place, and then back to Jim Brenner's. And
the reason I'm wondering is, okay, so it went up to Jim's Brenner's. So do you think Dylan was at Jim Brenner's and then went back home and then something happened at his house? Or do you think Jim did it at his house, but then he went back to Dylan's house to like look around, maybe try to steal something? You know what I'm saying? Like, who was the person to go back to Dylan's that last time? The phone, because he's saying the phone. So was it both of them, or was Dylan already gone? I wonder. Wow. Yeah. So Candace has been holding back a lot of info, but you heard, like, for instance, when Duty Ron would have her on, he would say, like, don't say anything. Like, if it's anything's going to hurt the investigation, don't say anything. So people were actually encouraging her, like, don't say anything. Don't give out any information. So she would sit there and get on people's lives and like do interviews and basically lie. But if it's to protect the investigation, then fine, do what you got to do. But we knew it though, dude. All of us sleuths and stuff, we were going through interviews and we could catch all the little lies. Do you remember that? So we're not as stupid as you think. Like, we catch these things, guys. You know what I'm saying? But I don't blame her. I mean, if that's, she thought she was probably helping the case, right? Who knows? I don't know what her intention was, but if that's why she lied, then, then do it. If it's to help find your son. I know there's still some people that think other theories, but I don't know. I don't think she has anything to do with it, really. I think James, definitely, right? Oh, so you think, okay, thanks, Grumpy. That's what I was wondering. Do you think it was Dylan that went back home and then James got him there? Or do you think it happened at James Brenner, sorry. And then James went back to Dylan's. So wait, did he say when it went to the pond then? So it went back to Dylan's, and then when did it go into the pond? Did it shut off at his house or in the pond? I know it's right there, but so then he probably went back there not only to put the phone into the pond, but also to steal stuff. I mean, to see if there's anything he could take, right? All right, sorry.
And stayed there the rest of the day on Saturday until around 2:30 or so.
Which is when Brenner said he stopped at the pond before he went to Dawn's for lunch. So he placed himself at the pond when Dylan's phone was thrown in the pond.
And Brenner told this to law enforcement again? So Brenner said the day Dylan disappeared, which happened to be the same time that Dylan's phone is pinging by the pond, Brenner
From the backside of the property back to the pond.
Brenner said he stopped by the pond on his way to Dawn, who also lives out there, for lunch.
But going the back way, so if you pull up that picture, that first time Diesel Brothers was out there, you'd see, you got the pond over here, you got Brenner's, and you got Dylan's. So Dylan's phone made it to the pond the back way. The only person who takes that back way is Brenner.
Have they retrieved the phone?
Yes.
Do you know, is there any did it salvage any information, or is it
we
dead?
had all this phone information already. We cloned it, and there was nothing.
There's nothing, like, as far as calls or texts or anything?
Nothing unusual.
What was the date of Saturday?
The 18th of June.
The 18th of June is when they found it. I was there.
Yeah, he was there.
And just to
Sorry, yes, Lucent Pond. Okay, I'm sorry. You're right. Thanks for I'm a little rusty on this case. Thank you for reminding me that that's not Lucent Pond, that's his pond. Okay. So where I forget where Lucent Pond is. I'll have to get a map out. And Krista, no, I think you could catch up on this case in one day because you don't need to follow all the like gossip and like silly drama behind the scenes, which most of it is YouTube, I feel like, as far as with this case. But no, you could catch up with all the facts of the case in one day because there's not many, Krista, honestly. So you'd be good. I mean, seriously, it would take you a couple hours and you would have all the characters figured out. There's a few guys that you might want to know about and everything and what they're well, actually, to get through some of the interviews of like some of the locals, it might take you longer, but you should be able to do it in a day or two. Okay, so Lucent Pond, thank you. I'm gonna look it up while I finish playing this.
Search and rescue, they'd been going across the pond all the way just as they were about to get to the very end. That's when they found it.
And you're saying the phone pinged at Brenner's trailer, at his property?
Yes.
But he said that he hadn't seen Dylan.
Correct.
Yes, and that he'd been there all day.
And that he'd been there all day, but
Friday
he'd never
and
seen
Saturday.
Dylan. But Dylan's phone's
And
pinging
Friday
there.
night, Dylan's phone was pinging out in where he was
Farming.
drilling
Yep.
the triticale.
Which he had been there. Dylan, had
Yes.
been there.
Yes.
But as far as everything after that phone call to Grandma, while there may have been movement on the phone, you don't know if that was actually him.
No,
holding the
we
phone.
know it wasn't Dylan.
You know it
Well,
wasn't Dylan.
I mean,
we would
Or
assume.
you assume.
yeah,
assume it
yeah.
wasn't.
I mean, that's why it wasn't answering. That's
We don't
why.
know when it went up and moved around to the grain shed if Dylan was with the phone when it went back to Dylan's place,
Yeah.
or if it went with Dylan. We don't know any of that.
The one thing is all the evidence is at where Brenner was squatting with that shed. So we don't feel it was Dylan going back to I mean, I think Dylan's phone, but I don't think it was Dylan.
So let's talk about Dylan's truck that was there on the property. You originally went out there and you guys got inside, right?
Broke the window, Justin
Broke
did.
the window to get inside because you didn't have the key fob to unlock
Correct.
it. And what did you find in the truck?
Nothing.
Nothing unusual.
What we were looking for wasn't there. The gun,
The gun. That's all we were looking for was his guns.
his guns.
His guns. Did you ever find his guns?
The
His
shotgun.
shotgun was here in Idaho Falls. The guy that worked for me went to the house that Dylan stays at, and the shotgun was here. But the pistol we did not find
until it came back.
until it came back a couple days later.
What do you mean until it came back?
So when we went to Dylan's farm, we were specifically looking for his guns. That was his guns and Dylan. Two things. That was it. So we walked in the camper. Justin and I both walked in, go through it all. On his bathroom sink was his gun case. No gun in it. Opened it. It's got the foam. Nothing. Opened the medicine cabinet. The next day, his sister Justin's sister cleans out the bathroom for Karen to use. No gun. She sets her Clorox wipes right there. Next day, pistol laying there with the clip out of it. Broad daylight where we'd all looked.
So sometime overnight, you're saying someone entered and put the gun there.
Yep. Next day, okay, so at this point, Box Elder is there. They're taking pictures. Next day, the key fob comes back. Same exact location. Somebody was putting his stuff back. And at this point, Box Elder is still not saying this is a crime scene. Something's going on out here. Nothing. People are everywhere. They do nothing about it.
So did you all find the gun and the key fob?
It was my son and Dylan's friend.
Yeah.
That walked in the trailer and said, "Oh, it's here."
Yeah.
I don't even think that they knew it was missing
No, they didn't even know we were looking for it. They
because
just
they weren't there when we broke the window and were looking.
But you're sure it wasn't there the first time you
Oh,
all looked?
absolutely not.
From what I heard, the law enforcement had taken pictures.
Yeah.
And it wasn't in the pictures.
Yeah, it absolutely was not there. Neither one of them. And so when Dylan's grandparents brought the extra key fob, I set it in the exact same location. Walked to his pickup, hit the button, and it would unlock. It was close enough it would still unlock it. That key fob and that gun were not there. They came back, and there was really only 2 people out there with access to put those back underneath our noses, and that was Brenner and then Dawn.
So why do you think whoever had those items brought them back?
because I truly believe that they thought we were going to come out and look for Dylan for a day or two and go home and say he'll show up. I don't think they thought, Brenner especially, that it was going to go to the extent and we were not going to leave that desert. And so I think he didn't want to be caught with it. So what better thing to do than put it back? And they were wiped down. I mean, they're smart enough to wipe them down. They didn't.
Wait. Somebody help me out here. She said Brenner, then Dawn? So wait, Dawn, I mean, I always wondered about Dawn too. But why does she think Dawn was the one that brought the key fob back and not Brenner? Did I miss something here? Why was she thinking that? I thought this whole time she's saying Brenner did both until then she said Brenner, then Dawn. Can somebody that's been really following all the behind the scenes lately, can you fill me in on why she thinks, why Dawn for the key fob? I mean, why? I mean, I believe it, but what did I miss here? Don is he's a guy that was helping Dylan with his farm. He's another he was the one where like James Brenner went to his barbecue after that. That's where he went, like his little cookout or whatever. So Don has been working the farm after Dylan disappeared. So he's supposed to be Dylan's friend. He's actually friends with his grandpa. Like he's like a family friend. And is he involved? Don Hatley, yeah. Or Hatley, or however you say it, I think. Because I think there is another E in it too. But she brought that key pod back, just pointing the finger away from herself. She thinks both of them could have brought it back. They were the ones who were. Oh, so she's just not sure. But did you see how she worded that? She said Brenner, then Dawn. Like she knew what order and who brought what, though. That's what I'm confused a little bit. All right, I'll continue here. And thank you for the super chat, Nicole. Thank you. Yeah, no, I always thought, not always, but towards the end, I did think that Dawn could have been involved too. But remember when Kurt said that he took a lie detector, but that he was acting all weird that day? Or wait, which day? There was one day he was in the bar and he didn't want to drink, and normally he would, and he didn't drink or something. You guys remember that story? All right, I'll continue this here.
Get anything off of them.
Let's talk about this shed that you mentioned earlier, with where Brenner said the shoes were.
Yes.
What is this shed, and what was kept in there? Was this a shed that Dylan would use to store equipment and stuff, or?
No, he just put his truck in it to protect the seed.
It was just a steel framed shed.
Yeah, it's just a little shed.
30 by 40 or something like that, just big
Okay.
enough to back a truck into, and it was there. I don't know that Dylan had ever used it before.
I don't think so. Not really.
Has it been searched by law enforcement?
Yes.
But let me clear that up, Eve, because since we're talking about guns, people that are just following this case might get confused. So the guns she's talking about are not Dylan's guns. So there are these guns that one was, wasn't one that the one guy that owed him money, he left it there. So he figured, hey, I'll keep it. What was the other guns? They weren't Dylan's guns though, what Eve's talking about, but yeah. Okay. And no, whoever said, are we done with Kylie's case? No, my channel is true crime. It's not just one case. So when when cases I follow have new updates, I'm going to cover it. I'm going to try to keep up with all of them. Like I'm trying to do another case too. I did Quentin the other day. So no, I don't just do one case though. So I know I got like zoned into Kylie where I didn't have time for anything else, but I'm trying to make time for other cases. So, okay, let's continue here.
Yeah.
Do you know, was anything unusual found in
So
there?
there was some evidence that the FBI found that we've, like I said, we're not going to release. But the problem with the shed is on June 2nd, Brenner pulled the grain truck out on his own and cleaned it.
Was cleaning the shed
Cleaning
with the law
the
enforcement
shed.
there,
Watching
with us
him.
there.
Said they can't do anything. I seen him take out I seen him take out 4 garbage bags and put them in the back of his pickup. Now, you'll see when the Diesel brothers interview.
Wait, why? Wait. This was after this happened. Why did they let him clean out the shed? Who did she said Sunday, though. The Sunday after Dylan went missing? Who was watching him then? Because that would have been before they got into town. Now I'm a little bit confused. I got to rewind that, guys, because she said Sunday, right? So who did she say was, oh, they were just sitting there watching him and they couldn't do anything. Who was sitting there watching him? But she said Sunday, though. Sunday, they wouldn't even have, the first day, like, it would have been, let me see what you guys are saying. It doesn't add up unless you're talking about the next Sunday, right? Let me just rewind it a little bit. I should have gave everybody a summary, but there's not a whole bunch. Dylan's a 19-year-old boy from Utah. It's like the Utah. Hold on, let me look at the map. I almost forget. It's like the border of Utah and Nevada. He just went missing one morning. Was the last to talk to him. He was on his way to. He was talking to his grandma in the morning, and he said, "Hey, I got to go put the truck in." Because he's a farmer. I got to go put the truck in before it rains. I don't want to get the seed wet. And that was the last anybody ever talked to him. He supposedly would had to call James Brenner to open the gate to get into the shed because the shed is like 5 miles away from his property. He owns a bunch of land. So he would have had to drive the seed truck, get into the, have the guy, James Brenner, open the freaking gate and then put the car in the shed, right? Well, we don't think he made it back from there. And now, from this new evidence, or this new thing she's telling us about the phone, he didn't. It doesn't look like he did. He went to go call James to open up the gate, and it looks like that's when it happened. I feel like James killed him. I really do. And then, yeah, but there is a little bit of craziness that goes along with it with Kurt Wadsworth and Jim Terry, and I'll let you guys kind of explore that that side. It just got really crazy. I mean, should I even say it? Like, I don't even know if I want to address all that rumor. I don't know if people really need to know like all that crap to follow the case. I almost don't even want to start that up again. But okay, so let's see. No, it wasn't Green Eyes, not Dylan Shed. It actually was. Are you asking me? I feel like you're asking me, right? It was actually it was on not on it was on another person's property. What was his name? Jim. Remind me the names because I'm a little, like I said, I'm a little rusty. I need a little refresher course. It was Jim something. He owns the land, and basically James, it might not have been Jim. I don't know, but James, that the owner of the land that the shed is on, let James like squat on that in that trailer and freaking basically be the gatekeeper for the gate, you know? So yeah, it was about 5 miles away, the shed. It wasn't on Dylan's property. And Dylan would have had his, supposedly, I know there's arguments and people say no, the crop wasn't going to work or whatever, but supposedly this was going to be his first year where there was going to be some kind of crop. I forget what was he growing, guys, remind me. And he moved out like young. He wanted to be a farmer, and that's what he's working his butt off trying to make this land fertile and try to get a crop going. So he's a hard worker. I mean, I guess Kurt says he's lazy in ways, but I mean, I think as a worker, he was a hard worker. Kurt's his little buddy. They were like a father figure type that lives in Montello and owns a bar. Dylan would go because there's nothing around the area. If you look, nothing around the area. So like the closest place to eat and drink would be this little bar in Montello that Kurt, his friend, which is like, I think Kurt's like what, 60, like an older guy that kind of like was like his maybe father figure because his parents live in Idaho. They live like a couple hours away. These are his parents. Okay. So, yes, thank you. That's what it was. Thank you, KCL. So, yeah, we have James Brenner, who is arrested. He is in jail right now, but he's not been charged with this. He's being charged with like a gun charge. What was it? Where he had, first of all, he has a felony, so he's not allowed to own a firearm. Plus, I think there were stolen guns, so he is in jail for that. There's a couple other people that people think might be suspects. They're in jail for other reasons. But he's their only suspect so far, but he hasn't been charged with anything. But that's who she's talking about. Don is out. Don's not arrested as far as what I know. So Don is, like I said, the guy that's running his farm right now. I don't know if he still is, but ever since he disappeared. So if he has something to do with it, I mean, he's a family friend. And James is that squatter guy that has like a past. He has felonies. He has like violent charges where he beat up people and stuff. So yeah, he's in jail, but now he's confessed to moving his boots, I guess, to the, law enforcement, I guess, maybe to one of the cops or whatever. What do you mean? Yeah, I do. This is the case. Are you serious? This is the case I was doing. I just need a little refresher of the names because it's been months since I went over it. Go watch my videos. I do know this case, silly. I just forgot somebody's name. I'm a little rusty on a couple of the names. Lordy, it's been a couple months. If you haven't thought about anything in 2 months, like, would you remember every little name? Sorry, I have all the details of other cases in my head. Lordy, lordy, these people. I think I'm remembering a lot. Anyway, I gotta remember these people. Yeah, they're just trying to on purpose. Okay. Gotta remember. Sorry, guys, I shouldn't have done that. But yeah, so we have Chase. He was a suspect, or he was like people thought he would. There's so much. I don't even know. For those people that are here that already know it, I feel like I'm gonna probably annoy you going over stuff. I know, like, I know, and especially since I haven't done this in like a couple months. It's funny. Actually, I feel like I'm remembering just a lot of it. Just I don't remember the guy's name. Jim, the landowner, but he wasn't a huge part in it. He was just the guy that owned like the land the shed was on. He's out of town. He's not even in that town. Yeah, when Night Rider, you could have an opinion. Wait, what are you saying? Hold on. Is everything okay? Let me see what. Wait, what am I questioning? I am going over facts. Isn't that what I'm doing though, Night Rider? I even said, no, I don't think the mom has anything to do with it, but some people do. Like, I don't even know. I'm going over the facts of everything. What do you mean? I haven't even thrown out any questioning, but anyway, besides the part we do question things. That's what we do. Like, that's what makes a good investigator too. You have to question things. So you would be a horrible investigator. Anyway, so yeah, I don't know. I thought I was gonna the thing is, Knight Rider, I was about to just stick up for it. I was like, yeah, it's probably not bad. I got your back. Like, not that, I just wanted to see. I thought maybe there was a mistake or something, but now I see, yeah, you deserve what you get, buddy. All right. They stopped watering the crop a long time ago. Oh, okay. See, I didn't know because I haven't covered it in a couple months, but that's what I'm asking. Was he not though, Candy? He was doing it when right after Dylan disappeared. He was the one running the farm. So my point is like he was a close friend. He was a friend of the family. He was the one running the farm when Dylan disappeared. He helped Dylan with the farm when he was alive, even though then at the end supposedly Dylan got rid of him. But then Kurt says no, he went fishing or something. He left because he had money, he got this check or whatever. I don't know. There's all kinds of hearsay with Kurt, his friend. So anyway, all right. So let's continue. I know. I shouldn't even because I'm done with taking the bull crap. Tighten up the ship mods because I'm not taking these stupid idiots. I'm done being nice. I am done. You guys, you respect me and you'll get respect in return. And my mods know the difference between freaking being a jerk or having a different opinion. Okay? All right.
Was released, we did the interview from inside the shed. Trust me, he wasn't cleaning up garbage. It is full of his beer cans and garbage. Whatever he took out in those bags was to hide what
Right
he
under
did.
law enforcement's
Right
nose
under their
and our
nose.
nose.
So you're saying that there's still garbage in there?
Oh,
It's
full
not
of
like
it.
he
That's all it
removed
is.
it.
Filthy.
He was specifically cleaning up specific stuff.
While he had a warrant.
While he had a felony warrant for aggravated assault.
With officers outside.
And a
walking
19
around.
missing-year-old. Or 19-year-old missing.
Missing.
Yes. So none of it adds up.
I guess you don't know where those garbage bags ended up.
Nope. No clue. More than likely, when they went to Wendover that Friday, they took him. would be my guess.
Jim and Dawn when
Yep.
we went to Windover.
So, in case someone's just tuning in, James Brenner has been arrested on an outstanding warrant and is in jail. He's a person of interest. Is that what
No,
they're-
he's a suspect.
He is the suspect.
He is the one and only suspect.
in Dylan's
For now.
disappearance,
For
which
now,
they're now
yes.
calling a homicide.
Well, they say they're treating it as a homicide investigation, but no, Box Elder has not switched it. It is still missing person / criminal.
Okay.
It has not been switched. So when Palmer said that, that was to appease the public. If you're going to say we're treating it as a homicide investigation, you need to change it so we can get more resources and more help.
Palmer being the chief deputy for the Box Elder
Yes.
County Sheriff's Office, his deputy, Cade Palmer, told ABC4 News in Salt Lake that there's substantial evidence that there was a homicide. So the interesting thing that I've also learned is that apparently Mr. Brenner's been in contact with your family,
Yeah, with Justin.
which doesn't happen a lot when a suspect, but have you all spoken with him?
I haven't.
You have not. Justin, you have. And what have those conversations been like?
Oh, he's been hinting toward Chase. He won't say his name because it's a conflict of interest or something.
Chase Venstra
Venstra.
is another person who's still in jail, but not in connection with this case again, who also lived out there.
Yeah.
No, he did not live out
Or he was visiting.
there. He'd just go back and forth.
He'd go back and forth. So he wasn't living out there permanently, but Dylan knew him.
No.
Kind of, no?
No.
Just ran into him.
Just ran into
Knew of him.
Yeah,
The barefooted man
the barefooted
that
man.
in the
Yes.
beginning was this suspicious man. So what James Brenner's telling you or trying to point a finger to Chase?
And trying to tell us to search the road that goes into Clinton, Utah, and take four-wheeler. He wanted us to take a four-wheeler and time it. But what he doesn't know, I guess, is that
Can I just say though, I know I shouldn't address this, but they refer to him as the squatter. Okay. And if you go watch my videos when I covered it, I was the one that said, you know what? I don't think he's not what you would technically call a squatter, because everybody was calling him a squatter because he was allowed to be there, but people are still calling him a squatter. So that's what he's known as. Okay. He's squatting in a trailer. And you did hear me say that the person that owned the property that he was on let him be there. Go rewind. That's what I said. He basically gave him permission to be the gatekeeper and let him on his property. Okay. But they still called him a squatter. Okay. I don't know why. I even tried to clear it up back then. I said, is it a squatter? Because he's allowed to be there. The owner's letting him, but that's what they call him. And just go rewind like a couple minutes. You'll see the owner knows he's there. Yes. He's the one that lets him be the gatekeeper for the gate. Like, yeah, call Dylan, call him up. He'll let you in. So I know the case. So shut up. I'm sorry if it's not addressing haters. It's just when I'm right, I'm going to defend myself. I'm sorry. I got to. I got to defend myself. So keep it real. Keep it real. Like, go keep it real somewhere else because you're not keeping it real here. All right.
Chase Venstra at 7 in the morning, I believe, was on camera at the Flying J in Snowville, Utah at 7 a.m. of that Saturday morning.
The day Dylan disappeared.
The day Dylan disappeared, the day Dylan was that morning when he'd called my mom at what time?
6:51.
6:51. So Chase was in Snowville at 7:30 or something.
And how far away is Snowville?
It's an hour
and a half, 2
drive
hours.
from there.
And then he was seen later in the day.
In
again.
Clinton, I think in Clinton, Utah, in a KFC on camera.
On camera.
Interesting.
And they pulled his phone records.
So Jim was just leaning me towards him. He wanted to talk to me and Dawn and talk about a place that Dylan had hid some stuff on Dylan's property, which I have no idea where that would be. It's a flat piece of ground.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine where. And when we were out there with the Diesel Brothers, I drove all around again.
Yeah.
Because we second guess ourselves. I do
Yeah,
all
we
the
both
time.
constantly going through the same things.
We checked the grain truck. I don't know how many times at the very beginning. I still wondered if I'd checked it enough. But so he was leaning towards Chase. And I wasn't sure whether what I was supposed to tell him, or if I should try to act like I was on his side, or if I was supposed to call him out. Well, he kept calling, and he talked to my mom, and my mom called him out on some of those things. And
Brenner.
called Brenner out on some of the things that I just said. And he said, well, I can't talk to you anymore. You're going to have to talk to my lawyer. So my mom called him out.
Yeah.
And I didn't know when I talked to him, this was a week later when she called him out, I didn't know really how I was supposed to talk with him, you know what I mean? So
Yeah, I would imagine there's some sort of...
I wondered if I needed to kind of play like, yeah, Chase was the guy, and see if he'd talk and about some more stuff, but...
Because you want information out of him.
Right.
You don't want to jump
I wanted
down
to keep talking
Yeah.
to him more
Yeah.
often.
Well, and see, Brenner, contrary to what people have said, he has had no outgoing communication. This is Justin and Larry and Karen are the first. So he has had no clue what's been developing. So he's been in there stewing, trying to figure out why he's the suspect. I mean, he does know that. He's got an attorney. But, you know, as far as watching the news and knowing everything that we're pushing for, he's not had a clue. And so I think when Karen finally called him out, like, it was a slap. Like, no, we know, you know, we got the evidence. We know you did something to Dylan.
Larry
Just
and
tell us.
Karen are your parents?
Yes.
Okay. So that's interesting. Do you hope to talk to him again?
Yeah, I don't want to talk to him. I don't like talking to him even one bit. But yeah, I would like to talk to him and see what he has to say a little more.
In hopes of getting
Hopes
some
of
information.
something comes out.
Yeah.
So you've told us about the boots, which were moved, that he admitted to moving, the phone that was found in the pond, the gun and the key fob that were found inside of his trailer. As you're learning all this, I'm sure you're saying the evidence is mounting and pointing to this person.
Yes.
And is that just
Yes.
becoming frustrated because we still don't know where Dylan
It
is?
is overwhelming for us to have to, and like Jess said, we will have the same conversation 15 times and still not remember what each other said and have to have it again. Because it is so overwhelming that, you know, they shut us out. They had all of this evidence besides the phone in the first 3 days, and they did nothing. They letting that grain shed get cleaned out, I believe, would have gave us all our answers. I believe whatever was in there would have gave us, he'd have been arrested and we'd have got answers. So it is so frustrating because we go back on it and we think back of all the wrongdoings by Box Elder and the total disregard for their own authority. I mean, they wouldn't even arrest the man that they had a warrant for. So it's frustrating. It's like, do something. Right now we are at this wall of, we need to find Dylan or we need Brenner to talk. Evidence is not going to magically appear. It's gone. Whatever we have is what we have right now. So one or two things need to happen, and Box Elder is not helping us do either.
Last time we spoke in person here, Candace, you had called for the Box Elder Sheriff's Office to remove themselves from the investigation. Chief Deputy Palmer responded to that request to ABC4. He said, removing us from the case just doesn't make sense. We were here from the beginning. We've involved other agencies like the FBI, even the one she's named to take the lead on the case. And then a viewer, sent me this email that she sent to the governor's office in Utah and the attorney general's office in Utah, asking for your request to get a different law enforcement agencies. She received a response from a woman who handles constituent services. And basically what the governor's office said is that at the request of the Box Elder County Sheriff, our State Bureau of Investigations was assigned our most senior homicide investigator to conduct an independent review of this case separate from the full-time agent working for the FBI task force. This independent review has established credibility in the Box Elder County Sheriff's Office investigation, even with substantial and pertinent evidence. So it sounds like they had someone investigate to make sure Box Elder was doing what they need to do.
So
So what's your response?
how do you do an investigation when it's one-sided? Why would Justin and I never contacted
We have
about
recordings of all the people
them
talking.
lying to us? All kinds of stuff. How can you say that they've done their job when they didn't arrest the felon on day one? They wouldn't let us bring in bloodhounds. They didn't want the dogs out there, which they would have picked up on Dylan's scent knowing what was in the grain shed now. When the key fob was found, when the gun was found, when the boots were found, they literally laughed at us and mocked us in that desert. They were ignorant, they were arrogant, they lied, and we got proof of it. So how do you have an investigation when Box Elder says, oh, this is the evidence that we have, and this is how we found it? Because it's lies on how it was found, because it wasn't Box Elder, it was us. Yes. So that's like I told you. That'd be like the IRS saying, hey, I'm going to audit you, and I say, you can have my QuickBooks, but you can't have my bank statements to back it up. That's exactly what that investigation is one-sided, and it is a bunch of garbage. I can't even believe they publicly came out with that and did not think how furious that would make us. This is our son. This is not a game of we need to make Box Elder look good. This is our child that they totally disregarded. It's not a good investigation, and they haven't done their job. So how do you have an investigation when Box Elder says, oh, this is the evidence that we have, and this is how we found it? Because it's lies on how it was found, because it wasn't Box Elder, it was us. Yes. So that's like I told you. That'd be like the IRS saying, hey, I'm going to audit you, and I say, you can have my QuickBooks, but you can't have my bank statements to back it up. That's exactly what that investigation is one-sided, and it is a bunch of garbage. I can't even believe they publicly came out with that and did not think how furious that would make us. This is our son. This is not a game of we need to make Box Elder look good. This is our child.
Wait, Eve, I don't mean it's a thing like he is, but it's a thing in this investigation or in this case because all the people that made, that's what I was saying. It is like if anybody goes back and researches this case on YouTube, it will be a thing. So I'm not meaning it like it should be an issue, but it is a thing that they're going to find. And I think that's what Krista was asking. So I wanted to say, yeah, it is a thing. It's a thing that it started a lot of crap on YouTube and a lot of it. And it is a part of it now because of Candace and like, not because of Candace, but because the mom, you know, the reason why like the whole Jim Terry and why she quit going on YouTube and then she came back and just like hurt and everything. So I don't mean it's a thing like it should be focused on or it could be important. I don't know. I don't think it is because I think it's James Brenner, but it could have been if it was true. I don't know. I don't really care either. I don't judge on that. But if it was true and let's say it had something to do with that, but I don't think it did because I think it was James and whoever else. But it is a thing. I'm saying for any new person going back, they are going to find a lot on it if they go back and research. And that's all I meant. I didn't want Krista, if she was like confused, like, wait, I'm finding things. Is this not like the right thing? I just wanted to say, yes, it was a big topic at the beginning. You have to admit that it was, and it kind of seeped into the investigation because it seeped into Candace, into Jim, he was the private investigator for a minute in the town, and it was. So you can't like learn about this case and on YouTube and not see that. That's all. So no, do I think it's important in this? No, but it is a part of the story now. It is. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm sorry, I don't mean to get yelled. I'm just in one of those moods, but if it sounds like I'm yelling, I'm not. I'm just very passionate about it. And I hate it. I mean, you followed me on this, right? You saw like how you saw the whole thing. So hopefully you're not judging me for saying that, but it just became a thing because of how just people. Sucks, but it did.
That they totally disregarded. It's not a good investigation, and they haven't done their job. And we had to scream for how many months? We had to have how many thousands of people?
I know, Vonderloo. I was the one that always saying that. It doesn't mean at 19 years old, it doesn't mean just because he didn't have a girlfriend or, you know, a significant other. Trust me. So I don't know if that's meant for me. You're preaching to the choir. I know. I said he is more of a work ethic. Like he was more putting his time into work. Like he wasn't even worried about, in my opinion, I feel like he's 19. He doesn't, that wasn't really on his mind. Of course, yes. I mean, girls probably are, got whatever, whoever he likes, but he was putting all of his time and energy into that farm, probably getting that up. So when he does have a family, he has something to provide. Like, I think he was just focused on his work at that time. So I agree, Rhonda. I do. But do I know his preference? No, I have no idea. Like, nobody does. I don't know. Maybe this family does. I don't know, but I don't think it matters either in this case because I don't think it had anything to do with what happened to him.
Write these letters and call to get the SBI to join, to get Box Elder to accept some help. The drone footage that we're doing now, that Diesel Brothers came out and did for us, I have on July 7th, Box Elder County on text rejecting that drone, basically saying it's of no use, no drone footage is going to help find Dylan, we want nothing to do with it. But now it's public. Now Diesel Brothers have stepped in and helped us do it. Guess who called yesterday? Saying they'd help us fly it. Been texting me today. Amazing.
Oh, wait, they did? How far back, Vivian? Wait, let me see when you commented at 11:50. Oh, just now. How far back you want me to go back? God, I know. I just missed like the last couple minutes of it because I was reading comments. Hey, UFC Frog, what's up? What's up? How are you? No, you're right, BJ. Yeah. And I don't think it did. I don't think it has anything to do with it. I agree. But I'm just saying, I just didn't know, Krista. Maybe I didn't understand your question. I just thought you meant like, if I go look into it, is it a thing? And yeah, it was a huge thing, but no, I don't think it has any. Some people still might think it has something to do with it. I don't, because I think it was James and maybe Don or whatever. So I don't think it has anything to do with it. I agree. Okay, a couple minutes ago or a couple minutes. I'll do it like 2 minutes. Let's see. All right.
Response.
How do you do an investigation when it's one-sided? Why were Justin and I never contacted
We have
about
recordings of all the people
them
talking.
lying to us? All kinds of stuff. How can you say that they've done their job when they didn't arrest the felon on day one? They wouldn't let us bring in bloodhounds. They didn't want the dogs out there, which they would have picked up on Dylan's scent knowing what was in the grain shed now. When the key fob was found, when the gun was found, when the boots were found, they literally laughed at us and mocked us in that desert. They were ignorant, they were arrogant, they lied, and we got proof of it. So how do you have an investigation when Box Elder says, oh, this is the evidence that we have, and this is how we found it? Because it's lies on how it was found, because it wasn't Box Elder, it was us. Yes. So that's like I told you. That'd be like the IRS saying, hey, I'm going to audit you, and I say, you can have my QuickBooks, but you can't have my bank statements to back it up. That's exactly what that investigation is. It's one-sided, and it is a bunch of garbage. I can't even believe they publicly came out with that and did not think how furious that would make us. This is our son. This is not a game of, we need to make Box Elder look good. This is our child that they totally disregarded. It's not a good investigation, and they haven't done their job. And we had to scream for how many months? We had to have how many thousands of people write these letters. And
UFC Frog, I agree. Trust me. Trust me. I know. If you think that I said that to support him, oh my Lord. No, no, no. He was one of the most awful people I've ever met. And I, behind the scenes, have stories. Horrible. So I agree. Please don't think that I'm supporting anything about that man because I don't. Not even a tad. He's disgusting. And I'm sorry, I shouldn't even say that, but I just don't even want to be like grouped into like, because I said his name, that means no, whoa. And that's horrible that what you just said, he said. I didn't even know, but it doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me. He's horrible.
Call to get the SBI to join, to get Box Elder to accept some help. The drone footage that we're doing now, that Diesel Brothers came out and did for us, I have on July 7th, Box Elder County on text rejecting that drone, basically saying it's of no use, no drone footage is going to help find Dylan, we want nothing to do with it. But now it's public. Now Diesel Brothers have stepped in and helped us do it. Guess who called yesterday? Saying they'd help us fly it. Been texting me today. Amazing what happens 3 months later when it's made public and somebody else comes out and does their job. Still 5 months later. That is not a good investigation. Period.
Anything you want to add to that, Justin?
I think she got it all right there.
So, how do you? I mean, is there?
Did I miss it again? Because I didn't hear them say the shed, you guys. I must have missed it, or I didn't rewind it long enough. Shoot. Wait, oh, Frog, are you still in here? I hope you didn't leave because you thought that I was supporting. Say hi. No, I'm not. I don't support him at all. I was just trying to say why it was a big thing at the time. But it was 5 minutes. Okay, shoot. I didn't rewind it. Oh, somebody's saying that I did. Yeah, I didn't hear that. I didn't. Wait, UFC, I didn't see him even respond. Where is he? I think he left. Should I go back, you guys? Well, oh well. I'm sorry. I don't want to keep going back. So she said what was in the shed? I don't know the context though. She doesn't say what was in the shed. What does she say exactly? So you don't have to rewind it. Can you just say, can somebody quote it? It was like the second sentence she said after. Oh, and that's when I wasn't listening for oh, shoot. I didn't focus. Okay, so hold on. Let me go. I'll go back then. I'll fast forward it after she says it. So I rewound it like to.
And lying to us, all kinds of stuff. How can you say that they've done their job when they didn't arrest the felon on day one? They wouldn't let us bring in bloodhounds. They didn't want the dogs out there, which they would have picked up on Dylan's scent knowing what was in the grain shed now.
What? Wait a minute. What? Did she just do a little slip up there? I'm confused, dude. Because what could it be? Obviously, I mean, they didn't find Dylan, so what is she even referring to? Unless if she... Hold on. I gotta rewind that again. Whoa.
State Bureau of Investigations was assigned our most senior homicide investigator to conduct an independent review of this case separate from the full-time agent working for the FBI task force. This independent review has established credibility in the Box Elder County Sheriff's Office investigation, even with substantial and pertinent evidence. So it sounds like they had someone investigate to make sure Box Elder was doing what they need to do. So what's your response?
How do you do an investigation when it's one-sided? Why would Justin and I never contact
We
them
have
about
recordings of all the people
them
talking.
lying to us? All kinds of stuff. How can you say that they've done their job when they didn't arrest the felon on day one? They wouldn't let us bring in bloodhounds. They didn't want the dogs out there, which they would have picked up on Dylan's scent knowing what was in the grain shed now.
I don't know. Wow. Oh, I know Sweet Home Alabama. I know that. We said that before. Like maybe one of the reasons why when we thought she was lying about finding things, which she was, is we even said, well, maybe because she was told not to. And I just said it again. Yeah, I don't blame her if she was told not to. If it was a part of like keeping the case solid and like and it was helping the case to help find her son, then yeah, she feels like she has to help the case and not say anything, then yeah, I don't blame her if it's to help find her son and to, if that's the goal. So I know, but this is kind of concerning. What the heck does this mean? Let me see. Zav, hold on. What? That's not a slip. She's saying knowing what's in the shed now, the dogs would have picked up on it. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. What's in the shed though? Supposedly they don't know what happened to Dylan. So how does she know that they would pick up what's in the shed? Can you explain? Is something like, am I just like missing something here? Yeah, Storm, I know. That's what we're saying. That's exactly what I'm thinking. I mean, I'm confused. Do I not like explain myself well? That's the whole point of what we're saying. And maybe she did slip up, because if she's not supposed to say anything, she shouldn't have said that. I know. Lordy, you guys. Now you're putting words into my mouth. That's exactly what we're wondering. What was in the shed? Like, we want to know. Okay, I'll continue.
When the key fob was found, when the gun was found, when the boots were found, they literally laughed at us and mocked us in that desert. They were ignorant, they were arrogant, they lied, and we got proof of it. So how do you have an investigation when Box Elder says, oh, this is the evidence that we have and this is how we found it? Because it's lies on how it was found, because it wasn't Box Elder, it was us. Yes. So that's like I told you. That'd be like the IRS saying, hey, I'm going to audit you, and I say, you can have my QuickBooks, but you can't have my bank statements to back it up. That's exactly what that investigation is. It's one-sided, and it is a bunch of garbage. I can't even believe they publicly came out with that and did not think how furious that would make us. This is our son. This is not a game of, we need to make Box Elder look good. This is our child that they totally disregarded. It's not a good investigation, and they haven't done their job. And we had to scream for how many months? We had to have how many thousands of people write these letters and call to get the SBI to join, to get Box Elder to accept some help. The drone footage that we're doing now, that Diesel Brothers came out and did for us, I have on July 7th, Box Elder County on text rejecting that drone, basically saying, it's of no use. No drone footage is going to help find Dylan. We want nothing to do with it. But now it's public. Now Diesel Brothers have stepped in and helped us do it. Guess who called yesterday? Saying they'd help us fly it. Been texting me today. Amazing what happens 3 months later when it's made public and somebody else comes out and does their job. Still 5 months later. That is not a good investigation. Period.
Anything you want to add to that, Justin?
I think she got it all right there.
So, how do you? I mean, is there a working relationship?
No.
So, I mean, do you have any sort of contact with law enforcement?
No, when we had the drone, is he the lead detective more?
Yeah.
He wouldn't come over and say nothing.
He came out.
Nothing. He came out.
He came out while you were flying.
Kicked dirt and walked around.
Wouldn't come within 150 yards of either Justin or myself.
But you are confident with the FBI?
Yeah. And we need people to realize, because I keep rehearing in the interviews, people say, you know, the family wants the FBI or the SBI to take over. The FBI cannot take over, and we've never asked for that. And Justin and I are fully aware that the FBI can't take over. This is not a federal case. The FBI is assisting, and they've been amazing. The SBI, they say, is assisting, but other than the independent review, we have no clue because nothing is happening. They're not out there looking for Dylan, and they're not questioning the suspect. What are they doing? What is their ongoing investigation? What are we waiting for? A year when we're sitting on the same exact evidence and the same exact suspect? Something's got to happen. It's not going to magically materialize out of the sky. So I don't know what the SBI's done.
Do you think they might be questioning Brenner but just not telling you?
He's lawyered up. They can't. They haven't even, yeah.
Yeah.
And we understand that even if they charge him, you know, he's still lawyered up. She's going to say what he can or can't say. We totally get that. But with him reaching out in the family, knowing how he reacted the few times the FBI agent did get to talk to him, I truly believe the man will crack and tell us.
You do?
I truly believe he will crack. But Box Elder has to make that happen. If they're going to, for whatever reason, want to hang on to this case for prosecution, whether it's to save face or whatever they're thinking, which we have no confidence in them prosecuting, they haven't even worked the case. They need to be working towards finding Dylan, working towards getting him to talk. None of that's happening.
You mentioned the Diesel Brothers. So you all went out there and they're going to be releasing video of your search out there on the property. Yep. Where do you go from here? I mean, you've released some information today. I know you all have been really persistent to keep it in the spotlight because Dylan's still missing.
Right.
Which is, as you've said, the most important thing to you. Yes. So what happens from here?
We keep going forward. We have the drone.
We keep doing the drone searches.
Yep.
And
we got the wash pinpointed that we have questioned, that Brenner has said multiple times to multiple people, if you're going to get rid of a body, you put it in the wash. So we're going to get that done.
Explain what that is for those not familiar with the area.
So a couple, I think 7 years ago, I don't know the exact timeline. So there's washes everywhere out there. So in the desert, when it rains and it all pulls into, basically just think of it as a mini canal. But some years back, the dam broke, some dam up top, and the wash, the way the water came down,
Yeah, me too, Krista. I don't think she has anything to do with it. I never did. There is like a little clique of people. I don't even know how many people do, but I mean, well, you see, there's a couple of them in here that are saying that. But no, I never thought she had anything to do with it. And you can go back and watch my videos on Dylan. I think I have them in a playlist already. But what was I gonna say though? Wait, hold on. I was gonna say something though about it. I've actually had her on, guys. I've had her on my channel. Go check it out. Like I said, it's in a playlist, I think, in Dylan's. Yeah, she came on. Originally, she was going on a bunch of YouTube channels, and then when a bunch of this drama started, she quit, and now she's going again on channels. But because of her, she brought attention to the case, because right when he disappeared, she was going on a bunch of different channels and trying to bring attention because the cops weren't doing crap. And because of that, it was like it almost pressured the cops into doing things, law enforcement. But yeah, they've really screwed this up. And if that's true, that they let Jim take things out of the shed while they were sitting around watching, like, if that's true, that is freaking messed up. How could they even do that, dude? But you know why they probably could do that? Because it wasn't Dylan's property. So it's not like the family could be like, nope, you're not allowed to go in there. The shed wasn't in Dylan's property. It was that other guy's. So if he got permission from wouldn't he have had got permission from the owner of the property though to do that? And I don't think, would the owner have let him? Like, if, like, for instance, the family called him up and been like, hey, Dylan's missing. We don't think you should let anybody in the shed. And then the owner could have told him not to, but maybe they did, or maybe he said he could, or they just didn't act quick enough. But I think if it was on Dylan's property, they would have been able to stop it, right? Man, that's messed up. That's messed up. Wait, they could have arrested him and stopped him. Really? Wait a minute, Rachel. You're saying they had a warrant and they didn't do it? I thought she was saying that they had to wait, that they didn't have one yet. I think the cops really did slack and mess this up. And like we see with a lot of cases, guys, this isn't uncommon with cops messing up investigations and slacking and making horrible mistakes. And sometimes it's like intentional, like cover up type things. And sometimes it's just laziness and screw ups and incompetence, So I don't know what this one is. All right, I'm going to continue this.
Wash, you can land a helicopter in it. It's huge,
wide,
deep. That's where we seen the pickup tracks that we've really questioned. We got a guy in Louisiana who's going to help match up Dylan's tire serial numbers to the videos and the pictures I have of the wash. And see, that's never been done either. And we've screamed and screamed and screamed about it. Like, we've got these videos, I took good pictures, and we got Dylan's tire still. Like, somebody help us. Was this his pickup? And if it was, that means that's probably what Brenner used, and that's where Dylan's at. But we haven't been able to get that done.
And you were saying just a second ago, Brenner has said if you're going to get rid of a body, put him in the wash.
Yeah. See, you guys are refreshing. Seriously, go back to my playlist. I have like all their records, like Brenner's, all his past records. He had a murder charge in 86. It was 86. And he kept, like, violating his probation and bond and stuff, and then he had that assault charge a year before this happened where he hit some, like, what was, like, a 75-year-old man with a chair or whatever, so he's got, like, a violent past, yeah. Um, but what I'm saying is I'm having trouble believing. You're saying, are we really to believe, and I do believe this, but it's because it's so crazy to think that there was actually a cop watching him empty out the shed and didn't do anything? Am I hearing this right? Because earlier in the interview, she said, "Oh, they were just watching him." Like, how is that even possible? That is so horrible. She needs to sue that the like that county, or I mean, that's not right. If there was a cop actually watching him take out bags and they had a freaking warrant and they were actually watching that, I could see, and I still can't even see this, but let's say they didn't know he was taking things out at the time, but they just slacked on acting on the warrant. But if you're saying they physically, visually were watching him and they didn't do anything, I don't even know what to say. Like, I'm disgusted. That's what I heard. Wow. That's what she made it seem like too. And this, when she said, I'm gonna have to rewatch this later because I feel like I'll catch more things that I missed. But this is just crazy. This is crazy. All right. No, but he had a warrant, Deanna. Real. So think about it. Dylan's missing. We know they probably knew by Sunday, I would hope, like the next day, like when they're reported him missing, when was the last people to talk to him? Oh, his grandma called him and he was on the way to the shed of the sea truck, or to put his sea truck away, right? I'm sure they knew at least the basics. And then you see some guy that you have a warrant, has a violent past. You see him emptying out 4 garbage bags and you don't just just like act on that warrant and get, just in case, because we know this 19-year-old is missing. You have a warrant and you're seeing him empty out the shed which would have been the last place that you knew he was going to. Like, come on, just act on that warrant so he can't take that stuff. I'm sorry, that's still way messed up. I don't care. There's nothing you're gonna tell me. If that's how it happened, like, I'm sorry. That is like I feel like she needs to sue them or something. What do you guys think? It's hard to sue. Probably something like that, but wow. Yeah, the warrant was for something else, Sarah. He still hasn't been charged with this. He's just like the number one suspect, but there's no charges. He's in jail for something else. So yeah. Anyway, but yeah, go back. I have like I said, if you go back in my list after this, if you guys want to catch up, I have like all his records on. I think it's just called James Brenner's criminal record or something. My video, I think. It should be in the Dylan Rounds playlist.
And it's not just Brenner, multiple locals out there. I mean, that's the thing.
It's just kind of known, unfortunately, that's because it would go, you'd never find it.
Well, no, because so that wash dead ends, like it comes to a wall, but so on the top of it, as the soil erodes, so if you put a body here,
it sloughs off,
and you go to the top and you disturb it, it'll slough off 10 tons of dirt on top of that body. We have been screaming about this wash for the first week. First week we've been screaming.
because we've heard what Brenner has said. If you want to hide a body,
and we've seen the
wash.
pickup tracks, and Dylan's pickup was pressure washed, except for there was mud in the wheel well. They didn't get the wheel well. That means that pickup had to go somewhere during that rainstorm. When's the last time it rained out there? Like February, I think, March?
Oh no, it has had some rains.
Before.
Oh, before that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it was March or something when Dylan was out there. So where did he get the mud? He wasn't driving through his pivot. So where did that pickup get the mud?
Sounds like you have a lot of help outside.
Yes.
Exterior people that watch the interviews and say, I can help.
Yep.
And I'm sure that gives you a little bit of comfort.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what's kept it going. That is what's kept us out there and getting the help and getting what we need to find Dylan and bring him home. That's been the only thing that's kept us going, is the outside help. Elko County, they've been awesome to work with. They had a team all ready to go and search the wash, and the way you fly over it and you feel like you're in, like, there's no way I thought it was in Utah. I'm like, there's no way. You just are right past Montello, but the way the border runs, we found out yesterday it's in Utah. So we're gonna go get that. They can analyze that. Twyla and Jean, they kind of have their roles where Twyla analyzes this side and then she sends it to Jean and says, hey, something doesn't look right here, and then Jean furthers. Amazing. We've had people ask, and you and I talked about it, can we see the images? And we're not going to release any of the images because people want to overanalyze, and they're going to say, oh, well, that is a hole. And we can say, no, this is what it... So we're just going to keep those to ourselves because we don't want to start a whole crusade of, no, Dylan's really in this one. And, keep that... Just keep it to ourselves right now. I want to eventually, when we bring Dylan home, show people the technology, help EquiSearch get more of these drones, because that's all we have right now. Like, that's all we have right now. And without those guys, we wouldn't have it. We wouldn't have even known about it.
No.
We wouldn't have even known this technology was out there. And they've got new stuff coming out that can do infrared. It does all the lenses at once. I mean, it's unreal.
That's wild how far technology has come, and hopefully it can get you guys some answers along with potential, words from the suspect.
Yeah, we need something. We need, like I said, we got two options right now, and neither one of them are being, Box Elder wants to step in now and talk with the drone and offer help, but we're confident in pilots that we have on our own, and I think that's the route we're going to continue to take, because we feel if we relinquish control, it took us so long to get this done. If we don't have control and we don't have that drone and have it in our possession, or have somebody that we trust has it,
who knows when they'll do it?
Who knows when they'll do it?
Yeah.
There'll be excuse after excuse. So if we keep control of that part of it, we can arrange it ourselves and go out and get it done.
Well, the reward for information leading to Dylan is now $200,000.
Yeah.
And if you've got information, you can be anonymous. They'll take anything, I'm sure. Any solid tip that might help.
Thanks to Diesel Brothers for that.
Yeah, Diesel Brothers
they matched the
it.
100,000. It was a surprise.
Yeah.
Surprise that
So
kind of
100,000 from you all, your group, your family and friends, and now Diesel Brothers is throwing in another 100,000. Yeah, kudos to them, and we appreciate you guys coming in and talking with us. Hopefully there's some big breaks here as you've shared this new information, and we will stay on top of it.
Okay, so actually here I'll share the one I did on James Brenner, but I did a couple on his records, because the one I'm going to share I think has like all his old records, but then there's a couple other ones. There's another one where when they arrest him recently, it goes more in depth of those records, but I'll do the first one. This is the one I'm going to put in the chat where it's like his past history, and then like I said, go to my Dylan Rounds playlist, and then there's other ones where his new arrests, it goes in depth. And then when I have Candace on, I have her on. Some of the other people, go check it out. So it's my playlist, just Dylan Rounds playlist. Let me actually see if I could, hold on, I want to see something, if I could share the whole playlist. I don't know if I could do that. No, I don't know how to do that on here, but go check it out if you're interested in the case. It really is, and he's still missing. Now after hearing this, I mean, him being missing this long, I mean, the chances of him being alive get smaller and smaller, but now even smaller after hearing this. What about James? There's one more video though I wanted to play. It's a new video on it. Hold on, let me get it. Let me pull it up real quick. It's about never mind. It's Fox. Shoot. I'm not sure. There's a bunch of different foxes, and one of them is really bad, and it's hard to tell which one. For the Kylie case, it's Fox 2. They're owned by Tribune. This says Fox 13, but hold on. Maybe I could find, hold on one second. Maybe I could find like the same kind of info. It's about the second search that they do. Maybe I could find the same info without it being a Fox. I don't want to play Heavy D because I got copyrighted by when I played his. Let me see. Hold on. Give me 1 second. This might not, maybe this might not be the Fox that does it, but I don't know if I want to take a chance. Oh well, we'll just chat for a minute. I'm just looking though real quick still to see. Oh, wait. What's this? Hold on. No. All right. Anyway. Sorry, I'm still looking. Oh, let's do. Here, let me play this. I don't know. This is from 12 days ago. I've never seen it. What do you think? Let's see. Yeah, here, let me play this. It's from 12 days. Let's check her out. It's from, it looks kind of interesting. It looks like they might actually show James Brenner now. I just skimmed it real quick. I haven't actually seen him recently. I think that's what I was seeing, but I guess we'll see. Okay. And this is from ABC4 Utah. All right, let's do it. Let me share it and share. On. All right, here we go. Let's see.
James Brenner is the primary suspect in the disappearance of Dylan Rounds. But the deputy chief from the Box Elder County Sheriff's Department isn't ruling out that he may have had some help.
James Brenner is our primary suspect at this time. Lots of other names have been shared with us. I can't say that James is our only suspect.
James Brenner is currently under arrest on a weapons charge and the assault of a man in 2021. This morning, he made a brief court appearance on those charges in a Box Elder courthouse. Brenner worked on the farm of Dylan Rounds. The 19-year-old operated the farm in western Box Elder County near Lucin. Since early June, authorities in Box Elder County have not been accessible to the media or Dylan's parents about the investigation. And it's brought criticism from Candace Cooley, who wants Box Elder to remove themselves from the investigation.
Removing us from the case just doesn't make sense. We were here from the beginning. We've involved all these other agencies, even the ones that she's named to take the lead on the case.
There is a belief that Dylan Rounds may be dead, and finding him is a priority for both his family and authorities.
We're treating this as a possible homicide investigation, so that would be my response to that. We've built a fairly strong case based off of some forensic evidence that we found, but obviously the break in the case will be when we locate Dylan.
But a former prosecutor in Salt Lake and now a trial lawyer says without a body, it would be hard to convince a jury a crime was committed.
If there is no body available at the time, then that element of the offense is missing, and the case wouldn't even get past a preliminary hearing.
Kent Morgan points to the Susan Powell case in 2009. She disappeared, and her husband, Josh Powell, was the primary suspect. But he says they needed more evidence to prove he murdered her. Palmer won't say what made Brenner their suspect. They do have his phone, and it's unknown why Dylan's boots were found lying near his property. Palmer says their evidence was reviewed by an independent team of homicide investigators.
And that independent review established credibility in the case and showed that there is substantial and pertinent evidence. The truth is this case hasn't hasn't gone cold. It's still an active case.
The deputy chief says they're allowing the FBI to keep Dylan's family informed about the investigation. He says there's just too much friction between them to have a working relationship. For Missing in Utah, Marcus Ortiz, ABC4 News.
Thank you so much, Mark.
Oh, Claire, you think he's sexy? Which one? Yeah, I don't think they would come on. I don't know. They're a pretty big channel. I don't even think do they do interviews? Or, I mean, they don't usually do true crime. They did the Susan Powell, they searched in the mine shaft and stuff. And then they to help because he has like equipment and like the money to help. And he did art. This will be his second search with Dylan Rounds right at the beginning. Before any of the search and rescue did a flyby. I don't think they did any helicopters before Heavy D. Or I don't think they've done any since, to be honest. He took his helicopter because he owns a helicopter and he freaking searched the property. There's a, if you go check it out, there's actually an interview or in a video where he does it. And I guess he did it again. So it's the second one. And then what did he say? They donated, how much did he say? 100,000, I think he said, right? So those are the only two cases I've seen him do, like true crime. And I'm sure he will more, just random ones that are in his area or whatever. Big Al, what's up? Dude, when I do my open panel tomorrow, you should come up. Why didn't you come up last time? I was waiting for you. I think I've done 2 since the one time I asked you. It's fine. I understand. We're busy. Like, everybody's busy. It just probably didn't match your schedule. But I feel like I've done 2 open panels since that night where I was like, hey, you going to come? It's all right. I know, Laura. I'm just doing audio right now. I know. I mean, I usually do video. I do more video but once in a while I just don't feel like being on camera. But tomorrow I will be. Yes, they drained Dylan's because Dylan has a small little pond on his property. They drained that one, but I don't know about Lucen Pond or anything. I'm not sure. Like I said, since the Kylie case, I don't know every single detail that happened after that because I was so sucked into the Kylie case. But before when I was covering it, I do know they drained his. But as far as the Lucen, I don't know. Does anybody know? Especially after that, it's came out that the phone was found by Lucen. Do you know if they drained it, anybody? No, they didn't. Okay, Sweet Home, thanks. So no, they didn't. I guess that's what Sweet Home said. A wash is I'm trying to think of the best way to describe it. They actually have a video of them flying by the wash, and there was hey, did anything ever come about the tracks? So there was these truck tracks that last I heard, and like I said, it's been a couple months, but last I heard, I think it was Candace that said that the tire tracks did look like similar to Dylan's truck. So, but I don't know though, because I guess James could have taken Dylan's truck to get rid of the body, right? So they found some tracks. The helicopter found some tracks in the wash, and then Jim Brenner's comments about the wash. So they, with that information, they think maybe he did get rid of Dylan somewhere by the wash. There you go, Vonderloo. Dry riverbeds that floods with heavy rains. So, like, I remember some people were thinking that you could actually probably put a body built on the side of it. Like, how do I describe it? Like, basically, like if you were to dig a hole, but since it floods, like you would be able to just I don't even know how to word it, but basically put a body in there and it would be hard to find. Okay, thank you, Liz. Thanks. Yeah. They still haven't compared it, Metal Mom. They did take at least pictures or imprints of it, right? Because I'm sure it's not there anymore, right? I hope they got like evidence of that. So they still haven't been able to, well, I guess if she's working with these law enforcement that aren't doing anything, it's probably frustrating because how do they do it? Like they'd have to hire their own expert or their own person to like match up the tire tracks. I'm sure that would get expensive, right? So, gosh, that should have been done right off the bat, man. What the heck? Come on, they're trying to find him. And if the freaking tracks look similar to Dylan's, and we know that James didn't have a reliable car, he had that one truck that they said it would overheat after like so long, where you wouldn't, I mean, I guess he could take it and then have to keep stopping it, but he had access to Dylan's car. So, and it was pressure washed. So they think whoever did this maybe took his truck and then pressure washed it, I guess, was the last I heard. Like I said, if things have changed since I haven't really been knowing every detail, then forgive me. But the last I heard, yeah. So they, at least Candace thinks that, sorry, my chair. Candace thinks that the person that did this did something, pressure wash the truck. So that would make sense if they did go in the wash. They drove in the wash. It got all muddy because it was raining that next day. And they got all muddy, the truck, and then they pressure washed it. Because Dylan has a pond and then a pressure washer that he hooks up to the pond. So thanks, Deanna. This is a test that can be investigated. Yeah. What do you think about it, Big Al? Have you following the case? No, it could have been. I don't think they know for sure. I just know Candace thought that it's similar. It could be his truck because it was kind of similar. Oh, another thing about James when I was saying it, and then maybe he has access to a four-wheeler, does he? But so he would have his truck that I guess overheats after like so long, can't get far without overheating, is what they said. And then I think maybe four-wheeler, but he could have used even Dylan's four-wheeler, right? Doesn't Dylan have one? Trying to remember everything. But I think he probably used Dylan's truck to get rid of him. If he did, I know it's so wait, how tall is Brenner? I forget what we ended up figuring out. Because his another detail on this case is his truck seat was up. So Candace is 5'2" and a half, I think, or 5'1" and a half. No, she's 4. Hold on, that's 5'2" is how tall we think that maybe the guy was. Candace is what, 4'11" and a half, right? I got that wrong. Sorry, guys. And so she's short, right? So she said when she got in Dylan's truck, the seat was moved so far up that she had no problem reaching the pedal. Okay. So we all of us are thinking, okay, so whoever did this is somebody short, right? Because they took Dylan's car, because then she said, oh, somebody pressure washed it. So they took Dylan's car, they moved the seat up to drive, and they never moved it back, right? So we were trying to get everybody's height. So and Jim is somewhat short. I forget what 5'7", okay. But originally there was this thing that came out that said he was like 5'1", but that was a mistake, actually. I'm pretty sure. There were some people that were still arguing that no, it was true. But anyway, but then at least I always thought, you know what? Freaking, it could be somebody looking through his car. You know, when you search a car and you're looking under the seat, you're looking in the back seat, you pull up the seat, and then you move it up to find stuff, like maybe under the seat or what's in the back on the back floorboard. So I still think there's a chance that whoever did this was looking through his car, freaking moved up the seat to look under the seat and look through the seat, maybe looking for money or looking for something they could take, and never moved it back, because then they never drove it after they looked through it. So I think that's probably more the case, but I don't know where everybody stands on that in the last couple months and what we ever confirmed about his height. I don't know. You remember anything? I don't. I'm trying to refresh my mind. I didn't even refresh before I did this. I just came on and saw that there was a new video and then just came on, hoping it would come back to me. And it is. I just still, like, there's a couple names I need to remember and stuff, and maybe a few details, but hey, crimes have consequences. What's up? What's up? No, the seat was up, Rachel. And also the gear was in hold on. The emergency. Was it? Oh, no. It was in also, yeah, no, the seat was definitely moved up. And the gear, it was in 4-wheel drive. And 4-wheel drive doesn't work. And she said there's no way that Dylan would have put it in 4-wheel drive. So that's another reason she thinks somebody drove the car, because Dylan knew it didn't work. I mean, it didn't work. So why would he have put it in 4-wheel drive? But the person that did this, how would they know? You know? So they probably put it in 4-wheel drive, driving down that wash. It was rainy and muddy, put it in 4-wheel drive, thinking it worked, and never put it back. And then there was one more thing. Hold on. Wasn't there another thing that was off? Let me think. There's one more thing about the car, but I can't think. Hey, Brandy. Hey, Kim. Kristen Orr. You have a diesel beard. Dr. Latina. Joe, thank you. Thank you, Deanna. I said Jim. I knew it was a J. No, but thank you. Yeah, but we know that one. Well, I guess it was returned, but yeah. No, I wasn't talking about that though. I feel like there's something else in the car, but maybe not. Maybe not. Yeah, I already said that. Ran over a hose. The hose was actually laying under the car, remember? Oh, yeah. So I looked up Lucent Pond and this is what came up. Hold on a second. Let me know if this is right. It's not called Lucent Pond, it's just a pond in Lucent, but maybe it's not right. Hold on, let me share my screen. Hold on. Okay. So when I put in Lucent Pond, this is the pond, Rabbit Spring Reservoir, and it is in the area. Is that right? I gotta map out all this stuff as far as like where he was, because it's been a while, and it's his little land is hard to find on the map. But so Montello is right here. This is the town he used to go in where his buddy Kurt worked at a bar in Montello, or ran a bar in Montello. And hold on, I wish they had the freaking borders on this. I'll have to go to Google Map instead of Google Earth. So here's Idaho. Hold on. Nevada. Salt Lake City. And he lived right on the border of Utah. Because Montello is actually in Utah. Okay. Or Nevada. Sorry. That was just a slip. I knew it was Nevada. God, because people are so hard on me. I meant to say Nevada. Dylan lived in Utah. Montello was in Nevada. And see, when you do Lucent Pond, that's what comes up. So Lucent Pond is in Utah, but you see how it's on the board because Montello's in Nevada. Let me see. Hey guys, what's up? I released this video 12:59. The dirt sloughs off the side of the walls. The wash never rains, and then the dirt would bury the body. Thank you. You described it perfect. That's I was trying to I could picture it in my head, but I didn't know how to say it with the proper. Yeah, that's what I was picturing. Thank you. It just seems like yeah. So actually, here, let me put this in Google Maps instead, so we could see the borders better. All right, hold on. Google Map. Yeah, that's what we just watched. That was the whole main point of the video, is to watch the video or to watch the interview. That's why I did this live, actually. Okay, so loosen. All right, let me do that. Okay. Here we go. This gives us a little bit better with the borders. Okay. So we can see the borders at least. All right, hold on. We're here in Nevada. So, wait, where did the pond go now? The sun tunnels? So that was a thing. You guys might have to help me figure out where he lived. I always had trouble finding it on a map. I don't know. I feel like it's somewhere here, right? His land. Isn't it like somewhere here around here? And then but where did that pond go? Where did it go? Hold on, let me try to do this again. Why isn't it not? Oh, it's right here, right? Yeah. So yeah, that's not too far, because I feel like his property's somewhere up here. Let me see if I'm wrong. All right. I can't pick exactly. I'd have to mess around a little bit to find it exactly again. But and then it looks like that reservoir is this Lucent Pond then? Because like I said, when I would type it in Google Earth Lucent Pond, this is the thing that it would take me to. Oh, the wash. Hold on. Yes, there's a video with the wash. Can somebody word like, I don't know, maybe I'll look up the definition. Somebody word like, KCL, can you do that? You're good at defining things. What can you explain what a wash is? And I'll try to write Google and see if I could get a good explanation. I'm not good at describing things like that. Wash basin. Okay. Oh, do you hear that? How loud my laptop is? Okay, wash. Wash means no, I just need the other wash. You guys are gonna have to help me out at wording what a wash is. All right. So nobody answered. Is that it? As far as, is this the Lucent Pond or no? Is it the Rabbit Spring Reservoir? Does anybody know? Dry riverbed. Oh yeah, I guess KCL kind of had it. You had it in. Really, you had it in the thing where you're describing how you could hide a body. You actually kind of had what it was right in there. But yeah. I want to find that video. You know what? I think I have it in my Dylan Rounds file. The video of the wash of the helicopter flying over. Maybe I could throw that. Oh my god, I said throw that because I was reading your I was reading your comment, Michelle, as I was talking. No, but Karen, I thought they said the Lucent Pond isn't the one on their property. Because that's what I thought originally, and everybody's like, no, that's not the one. It's not the one on his property. It's a different one. So I don't know. I don't know for sure because I didn't know if they had a name for the one on his property. But people in chat were saying it wasn't that. It was a different one. Karen, so I don't, like I said, I thought the same you at first. But can somebody help me out with this? So it's definitely not the one on the property, right? Okay, so Mitch is saying it's not. Can you, so is it the rabbit one then or not? The Rabbit Spring Reservoir? I have an idea. Let's make a carnival ride type of thing like the zipper to pull the car out of the water. We got this. What? What do you mean, Mr. Zeep? Aurora? Oh. Yes, there was a small pond on his property. We know that, Metal Mom. But they're saying that the where they found the phone in Lucin Pond is not the same as the one on his property. That's all we're saying. Yes, we know there is one. They did drain the one on his property, or like shortly after he went missing, and then but it wasn't, because that's what he uses. That's what Dylan used for the power wash, and whoever probably power washed his car may have used that one too. But I don't know. I just had the question if the Lucin Pond was the robber, but nobody. I guess nobody knows. But all I know is on Google Earth, when I type in Lucin Pond and on this, it takes me right to this rabbit one. So if that's the case, it's pretty close by his property. It's on the, it's close to Montello. So I don't know. Those of you that wanted to see it, there you go. It's right here. I mean, this is maybe it, but I don't know for sure. They've been calling it Lucin Pond, but if anybody knows in the chat, I'm not sure if they do. And it doesn't look like they do know because nobody's answering. So I'm not sure anybody knows for sure. So maybe we'll just move on and I'll try to ask somebody else that knows sometime. I'll try to figure it out. All right, guys. Well, that's all I got for you today. You guys, my video of wait, hold on, let me take this off. It finally uploaded and I finally finished the video of reading the toxicology, autopsy, and investigative report. Like I said, I added a few things in there of like different terms or like what else? Just different tests, looking up and just different things, as I went through it. So if you guys, it's very somewhat educational too. And like I said, I read it all out for you guys. And then, like I said, that's why I'm going to get off here because I want to finish researching. I'm reading like some articles and publications to try to better understand different things with the autopsy. And it's concerning me because things just aren't matching up with the whole drowning more than the water in the lungs. There's actually more that isn't matching up. So I'm a little concerned and confused why. And I want to learn more. So that's why I'm going to get off here so I could look into it more and see. And I don't know if it's just them omitting things or if it's more. I don't know what it means, but we'll have to talk about it, we'll brainstorm together. So those of you for tomorrow, just try to like go through the autopsy, and anybody that wants to go on panel. No, I mean, you don't have to, I guess, but that's what we're going to talk about. So just kind of, well, no, watch my video. Yeah, just watch my video and it'll go through it. And yeah. Oh, good night, Kim. Good night, Vivian, Michelle. Thanks, Julia. Good night. Yes. Oh, it's going to be the autopsy report. So here, I'm going to get off here. I'm going to publish my video, and that has the whole autopsy. I read through it. It has some of the terms, and it has like the tests, like some details of like what little things there are here and here. I didn't oversaturate it with like that kind of stuff because I wanted it to mostly just be the report. So those people that get annoyed with like all the other stuff, it's mostly just me reading the report, but there are a few things that I do like define and stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna do that real quick. Like I said, I'll publish it. It's all finally uploaded and done. And then but yeah, we'll chat tomorrow. So Big Al, yeah, just watch my video and go of the autopsy. And you'll be ready. Nini, good night. KTM, good night. Kaleidoscope or Kaleidohope. Oh my god, I love that. Kaleidohope. Great name. That really is a good name because think about it. First of all, it has a nice ring and the whole kaleidoscope, Kaleidohope thing. But then if you actually think of the meaning, and I'm sure that's probably went into your thought processes of naming that, but if you I'm like like analyzing and going deep on your name there. But I'm thinking of like a kaleidoscope, but then you switching it to hope, so a Kaleidohope and what that means. That is really cool. Yeah. Oh, hey Ben. What do you mean, my thoughts? I mean, I know what that means, but I'm about to end this. But you know, I like Thai. I feel like, but like I said, I haven't the last couple months ever since I've been getting into Kylie. I haven't been following all the behind the scenes things of all the different like YouTube stuff or anything. But when a update comes out that's kind of more official, I'm trying to keep up on that stuff and making videos and updating that kind of stuff. But as far as that, I don't know why. Is there something new or is there something going on with that? Oh, Dylan's Farmers right by the sun. Yeah. So so I was on it then as far as right. I'm talking about where is the oh, it might be down here more than okay. Where is the Lucent Pond? Is it called the reservoir or the Rabbit Spring Reservoir? That's all. Because everybody's saying it's not his pond. So okay. I know who will hang up first. I don't know yet, Dominic. It depends on what, when I would like it sometime maybe afternoon, but I can't promise because I want to stay up late doing this and then so maybe late afternoon to early evening. Yeah, I didn't think it did after what people were saying. But is it the Rabbit Spring Reservoir, Rosemary? Because there's nothing called the Lucent Pond, at least on maps. Like I said, when I type in Lucent Pond, it keeps taking me to Rabbit Spring Reservoir. So just curious if that's maybe it. Oh, I never did show the wash though. Shoot. I'm sure whoever wanted to know is probably not even here anymore, are they? Let me see if I have it real quick. Hold on, Dylan Rounds. Let's see if I could find it real quick if I have that video. Hold on, let's see. See if it's on here. Hold on 1 second. There's like a little clip of the I guess I should have played a couple of videos just to give like some of the newbies like a little picture. Hold on a second. Let me play this. I don't know if this is the one that shows the wash, but let me just play this to kind of give people a look at everything. Hold on. Don't go anywhere, guys. I'm gonna play. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Is this? Wait, this is Fox 2. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just gonna end this, guys. Because I can't. It's not sticking out which video it is. It's the one that I have is like it's like mixed in with a video, and I don't know which one. Hold on, let me just check one more. Hold on 1 second. Let's check this one. See if it's this one. This one is. Oh, I didn't even show a picture of for the new people. Shoot. I'm not doing very good here. Oh, Lord. Wait, is this? Hold on. But this kind of gives you a little bit of a look. This isn't quite the one, but hold on 1 second. Hold on, just give me 1 minute, guys. Are you guys still with me here? Are you still? All right. I don't even know if you want to see. Do you even want to see a video? Okay. One more. Just play one. I can't find the wash one, but we'll just play this one. Wait a minute. This is so weird. How is that the same logo? Okay, here we
Top
go.
border in Box Elder County. Dylan's mother said his dream was to start up his own farm, and this spring he started from scratch.
Dylan's been working on this farm out in Lucin, Utah, his own farm, on getting the ground tore out and getting it prepared for a crop. This year was going to be his first crop. So that farm was his whole life.
He lived in this camper, and when no one heard from him on Memorial Day weekend, his Idaho family traveled to his farm. It was abandoned.
We've been searching. We've been looking everywhere. Search and rescue came out on Monday, May 30th. They were out there in the afternoon, and that first afternoon, we located his boots.
His mother said the boots were a short distance away from his RV camper, and it's the only pair he owns.
At that point, it should have been treated as foul play. I mean, you just don't find somebody's boots in the desert that's missing.
On the Box Elder County Sheriff's Facebook page, they consider it a missing persons case. They've received tips and continue to search the Lucin area. The sheriff post said his pickup truck was found on the property and believed he was on foot. His mother said despite recent rains before his disappearance, it appeared not to have been moved, raising more suspicions.
It's like it never moved in the rain, like he never took it anywhere on Saturday, like they originally thought.
Wednesday, before he was last seen in the town of nearby Lucin, he told his mother of a man walking barefoot along the road.
He said, "Mom, you'll never believe what happened to me. This guy jumped out of the desert. He was bloody. He didn't have shoes on. He wanted a ride. I didn't give him a ride."
The family learned of the man, but she says he doesn't believe he's connected after talking with him. She's unsure if authorities feel likewise. Search and rescue units from both Box Elder County and nearby Nevada have continued to search the area, but there's still no sign of Dylan.
He was so excited when I talked to him Thursday. He says, "Mom, my grain's growing. It's coming up. I'm going to get a crop this year." I just ecstatic, high on the world about it, and then just vanished. Nothing, not a trace.
Cooley says that they have found at least 3 persons of interest and have forwarded those names to the sheriff's office. She says they were former employees of Dylan. It's unclear whether they've been questioned. For the Justice Files, Marcus Ortiz, ABC4.
Oh, thanks, Rosemary. You're so sweet. You're the best. Oh, 14 asteroid. Hey, yay. Thank you. Thank you. All right, guys. Like I said, watch my video. I'm gonna publish it right now after I get off my Kylie, the autopsy one, and then tomorrow we will have a chat about it. So everybody have a good night. Try to get I can't believe it's already 1 a.m. No, where does time go, guys? Shoot, how did it get so late? Well, everybody, good night and sleep good, and thanks for everything, and just yeah, have a good night. All right, bye.